Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about this little guy here, the gecko, which they're part of the household, every household out here in Hawaii, and they can cause you a lot of electrical problems, and they do for people. So many evenings when I walk in just to check on the system here, I'll see one of those little guys and up here on the wall or something, and as soon as they see me walk back here, they quickly scurry and run and jump into the back of the inverter through the fan, where the fans are in the back. There's enough room they can get right in there. The inverter, of course, has a little bit of heat in the evening, and that's what they're looking for, and they go in there and they can make nests, lay eggs. The eggs are about the size of a large pea, and they can get to be, you know, a good 6 inches long themselves, so they can get in there and make a connection with their bodies and fry your system by contacting the different contact points, or by pooping in there, laying their eggs. They cause a lot of problems in electrical systems out here. So here's the back of a inverter that I use a lot in some of my demonstrations, and I couldn't get the camera behind that other household inverter, but you can see there's plenty of room, and they can run right in there. And they do love to crawl into these kind of spaces, especially on the cooler evenings out here. So I had almost forgotten about this and kind of put it out of my mind, even though it's been a week or two since I've seen one run into the inverter. And then I got a comment from one of the viewers of this channel a few days ago who has this same kind of inverter, only a 48 volt, but I believe it was the same size. And his system completely exploded. He heard several loud pops, electrical pops, and his fuses did not engage, and it completely fried his inverter. And he had some problems shutting his whole system off in a safe way because the fuses didn't take off and protect the system. And after he got it all shut down and tore his inverter apart, he found a fairly large gecko living in there that had shorted the entire system out. So that sent a chill right up my spine reading that. He lives out here on the islands, so we're all familiar with these little critters. And now I'm thinking, how am I going to protect this inverter from experiencing the same thing that he experienced? And I already know that I've had geckos running in and out of there. I haven't seen them recently, but that doesn't mean anything. So I have thought about trying to wrap the whole inverter with like the nylon type of screen that you have in your household screens, and covering that whole thing to where there's no way in or out. But back here, since I have kind of a very tight space for airflow, I don't want to cover it with anything that's going to restrict the airflow for cooling any more than just being in that space does. So someone just suggested to me I should probably move that inverter away from the wall a little bit, you know, give it an inch behind the wall to help with some airflow. But the main thing I need to do is make sure that there's no way in or out for those geckos to get in there. Now, here in the front, they really can't get in, but back in that fan space, they can run in and out of there at their pleasure. So anyway, I've known many people that have had these things get into their air conditioning units out here and short them out. It's in the news quite a bit. They get into even the traffic signals out here and make them malfunction. So the gecko is a way of life out here for everybody. We love them for keeping the mosquitoes down in and around your house. They are part of the scenery and part of life, but they can blow your system up. Absolutely. So I'm curious as to what some of you are doing to critter-proof your components in your solar system. Like I said, now that I know of somebody who has the exact same kind of inverter that I'm running, and I have seen them run in and out of mine, I can't get it off my mind. I'm going to have to cover that system up in some kind of a way. And what are you doing for critters in your part of the world? Like I said, the airflow is a concern with those fans. I don't want to cover them with anything that's going to restrict that airflow at all. So it feels like a bit of a conundrum. I'm going to figure it out. If I have to wrap the whole system in a netting of some kind, it would be a hassle for any changes, but whatever it takes. Anyway, that's the thought for the day. Aloha, everybody. Let me know what you think and what you do to critter-proof your electronics in your part of the world. Aloha.